What up, folks? It's your pal, Coach Vino, and this is the Glass Half Full podcast where we turn setbacks into comebacks. Let's go.
Yo, everybody goes through setbacks, but don't let these setbacks make you take a step back. Step back from the situation, put your brush down, envision the picture you're faith in, because everybody goes through setbacks.
All right. Welcome back to the podcast. I am Coach Vino, the people's bartender, and your certified coach from the Boogie Down Bronx. So I hope everybody's well since the last time we hung out. I'm doing absolutely fantastic. And today I got one I'm really looking forward to sharing with you guys. It's super important, very personal. And I think a lot of you guys hopefully will be able to find some value in it. Because, speaking of value, that's what the conversation is going to be about today. This is for anyone who's ever questioned their value. Because I want to make it clear. I want to make this clear right out of the gate, okay? If you were listening to this, okay, this is for you, okay? Whether you feel great about yourself or not, I want you to understand that the world is a better place with you in it. And I know that might sound like something that you see on a poster somewhere or you hear it in a feel-good speech. But I'm not saying it like that, okay? I'm saying it as a fact. Because a lot of people are walking around and right now, there's someone out there, maybe you, and you're feeling invisible. You're feeling replaceable. You're feeling like you don't really move the needle in anyone's life. And when you feel like that long enough, it starts messing up with how you show up. You start speaking less. You start trying less. And you start shrinking more and more. And not because you're weak, but because you forgot your impact. Okay? And here's the thing people don't realize. Your value is not measured by how loud you are, or how successful you are, or how many people you know, or how many people know you. Your value shows up in moments that you're never going to get credit for. Okay? The conversation where someone felt understood for the first time in weeks because of you. The example that you set without realizing that anyone was watching. The kindness that you showed on a day that someone else was barely holding it together. You don't always see the ripples. But that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. Here, look, we live in a world that loves numbers, right? How many followers, how many likes, how much money, titles. I see this firsthand. I mean, I'm a social media guy, right? And I can get caught up in the numbers sometimes. Like, shit, my YouTube channel's not big enough. Not enough people listening to my podcast. And if you're not careful, you start thinking that if you don't have those things, then you don't matter. I'm telling you right now, earmuffs, that's a fucking lie. Some of the most important people in your life were never famous. They were never rich. They were never flashy. But they mattered. And they mattered because they showed up and they cared. And they were consistent about it. And you're doing that more than you give yourself credit for, my friend. Let me tell you something that's uncomfortable. You don't get to decide whether you matter based on how you feel on the worst day of your life. Okay? Your feelings are temporary. Your impact is not. There are people who are better because they crossed paths with you, even if they never told you before. When I became a coach, the amount of people, friends and family that came to me and said, like, you always were a coach, man. You don't know how many times you said something that totally changed my day. That was some of the most powerful shit I ever heard in my life. There are versions of people that exist today only because you were there for them at the right moment. And you may never know who they are. You may never know their names. You may never hear a thank you. But what you did, that effect, it still counts. Sometimes the world being better with you in it isn't about changing the world. It's about changing the room, changing one person, changing that 1 hour, your energy, your perspective, your presence. You bring something into every space you walk into, whether you realize it or not. This is what we do. This is what we do. And when you're gone, that space is missing something. That's not ego talking. That's reality. I think a lot of people, they struggle because they're measuring their worth against like this fantasy version of who they think they should be by now. And I want to be very frank with you, very clear with you. I know that feeling. Oh, I should be further in life. I should be better off than I am. I should have figured this all out already. Why am I not, this big yet? Why am I not making this much money yet? And because we don't hit these imaginary milestones, we start to discount who we are at this moment. But I'm telling you right now, don't do that. You're not late, you're not irrelevant, and you're not a burden. You are a work in progress, just like everybody else. Like me, like your favorite celebrity, like every politician, every musician, every motivational speaker, every religious leader, everybody. We're all a work in progress. And progress matters, even when it's quiet. Let me talk to the people who feel like they're just surviving lately, okay? I want to talk to you guys directly, okay? You feel like you're getting through the day, just handling your responsibilities, and you're trying not to fall apart. Well, let me tell you something about that. That counts. Staying here right now counts. Showing up counts. Choosing not to quit, no matter how hard it is, it counts. Sometimes the bravest contribution you can make to the world is not giving up. And I have been there. Don't underestimate how powerful that is. Someone is watching how you're going, how you keep going. Someone is learning from your resilience, even if you don't know it. Okay? Look, you don't have to be perfect to be valuable. You don't have to be fully healed to be helpful. And you damn sure don't have to have it all figured out to matter. But what you need to do is you need to stay. You need to stay with us, stay here. Because little by little, piece by piece, you will become everything you need to be. The world doesn't need a different version of you. It only needs you to be you. Okay? Your voice, your humor, your story, your way of seeing things. Even the parts of you that you think are flaws. Those are often the things that make you so relatable, trustworthy, make you human. Oh my God. I remember me. I focused on my flaws. I'm this kid from the Bronx with this accent. And, I grew up so poor and impoverished. You know what? Ultimately, those made me who I am and became strengths. So if today feels heavy, if you're doubting yourself, if you're wondering whether you really make a difference, Coach Vino wants to remind you of this. The world is better with you in it. Not because you're extraordinary all the time, but because you're here at all. And that's not something to take lightly, my friends. So I don't give a shit what you're going through or what you're feeling. I need you to stay. The world needs you to stay, to keep going. And don't forget that your presence matters more than you will ever know. You got this. But that's all I got for you folks. If you enjoyed today's podcast, I'd appreciate it if you left a review so you can help Coach Vino feed the hungry algorithm. If you or someone you know might want to work with Coach Vino, you can visit my website, coachvinollc.com. You can also follow the podcast on social media where I share more of my thoughts in bite sizes, and it gives me an opportunity to directly interact with you guys, hopefully you. Somewhere, I'm everywhere at Coach Vino Podcast. Remember, folks, if nobody else tells you, like I said, Coach Vino appreciates you. Cheers.
And express what I'm feeling in a hip-hop form. But I was born to succeed, so as long as I breathe, ain't nobody on this earth gonna crush my dreams. Yo, this might be the end of the verse, but this is just the start of a new beginning. Word.